All right. The Aviation Wealth Club, its second session, and it is the 11th of March. Welcome, 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 everybody. And well done on doing your business this favor, on turning up today and uh, coming to see and participate in the Aviation Wealth Club's journey to helping you guys be more successful within the aviation industry. Then I just want to, sorry guys, I see that someone's looking for the link and I've definitely posted it. Sorry about this. Just give me a seckie. Okay, the Aviation Wealth Club is the first of its kind. Okay, there are other aviation networking groups, but we have made the Aviation Wealth Club especially unique and exclusive in a way that we are here to really just empower pilots and aviation professionals in and around aviation. We've got 3 pillars that we work on, and what the Aviation Wealth Club is built on is exclusive events where we can network with aviation industry's top and best and brightest. We've got the weekly mastermind, which is led by Rob Yates, and it is awesome business advice and coaching at an absolutely elite level. And then, of course, the third pillar is Aviation Wealth Advice, which is with me as an aviation wealth specialist that is able to not only just sort out the fundamental fundamental baseline set of your investments, but to also talk about niche, movable and immovable property that you can invest in all around the world that can take your portfolio through the stratosphere. So those are the 3 pillars that we work on: cutting edge investment strategies, massive networking opportunities, exclusive events, and this club is obviously designed to build absolutely lasting wealth, and you'll see that as we go. I'd like to welcome our new members and guests today. Very, very welcome again. Welcome to. Congrats again on getting here today and making this time available for you and your development. Well done. If you've had some recent wins, please put them in the comments section. Maybe you've reached an aviation milestone. Maybe you've put pen to paper on an awesome deal. Maybe there's a new investment that you've come up with or found in the market and is really giving you some excellent returns. Put that in the comment section here today. I mean, Henry, you talking about an awesome sponsorship deal that you've got with the West Coast Air Show. Tell us more about that. Tell us, JJ, I know we've got a couple of projects on the go. You can put that in the chat. I'd like us we'll come back to all of those, and I'd like us to just create a nice engaging environment for putting those wins out there and creating more positivity. And as JJ said earlier, the purpose of this Aviation Wealth Club is to free you up to do more fun stuff and do the stuff that you love doing. And for all of us, I think in this room, it is to fly more and to spend more time with family and friends and going on holidays and having fun and doing all those awesome things. That's the purpose of this Aviation Wealth Club. We want you to be working hard together, but instead of only flying once or twice a week, let's try and get that to 3 to 4 times a week, because your business has grown, you've been able to employ the right people, you've sold an extra airplane, whatever that is. The Aviation Wealth Club is designed to do that just for you. Just an update on some of our events that we've got planned. You'll see that this calendar is growing quite nicely. We've actually got our first Aviation Club networking dinner, which you guys will all be getting information about in the next couple of days. But we've found it's going to be happening on the 4th of April. And we've over the weekend, I spoke to a long-time friend of mine, Paul. Maybe you know him. His name's Jan Botma. He owns Aviators Restaurant out at Harties, and it's got an amazing setting. It's aviation themed, and that's where we're going to be having it. We're going to be having a nice networking dinner with one or two speakers, and I just thought it would be a good idea. We've got a very sexy event you'll see there in the middle called the Fly In and Track Day, but that's only in June. And I think to create some really good value right up front in the next couple of weeks for everyone involved, we decided to have this networking dinner on the 4th of April. Of course, there's the Pretoria Air Show that's happening on the 21st of April. And this is where Aviation Wealth Club members will have a specifically VIP area that you guys can, sit down. It'll be nice and cool, and there'll be snacks and catered for and all that kind of stuff. So instead of just being out there in the sun and sweltering with all the other people, you guys are going to have a nice little, very comfortable area that we can put you guys in, and you'll be able to network with each other again and watch the show from there. And then, of course, there's the Fly In and Track Day that's happening on the 6th of June. We're going to be flying into Grand Central Airport. We're going to be whisked away by a fleet of supercars. We're going to be driven down to Swadkorp, and we're going to be thrown around the track there as neatly and succinctly and safely as possible, but obviously with a lot of adrenaline flowing. And then have a lunch there, and then self-drive back to your area, and home you can go. We've also planned the Dubai Property and Investment Expo in July, and this is again where we want to expand the networks and businesses here for everybody, but we're also taking this thing international. We are putting you guys in touch with other people that we know in the Middle East. Growing that side of if you want to branch into that, so growing that side of your network, growing that side of your business, to see what's available and to get into in terms of diversification and all that stuff in the Middle East. Middle East is the start of it. As the other company that I'm part of is Pilot Insure. We've got concentrations of clients all over the world, little pockets, and growing pockets of clients all over the world, from Japan to Macau, and which is basically Hong Kong, and all over that we're going to be taking you guys to go and see and meet new people in those areas. But we're starting off in Dubai in the middle of this year. And then, of course, we've got the Elite Network Flyaway to Mozambique, and that's happening from the 19th to the 22nd of October. We'd love to see all of you there, and obviously more and more details of these will become available as soon as all the plans start falling into place and getting made. But these are the dates and the theory behind them. So we're looking really, really good for an awesome event lineup for the rest of the year. I want to ask one of you today, and I think because I've seen you recently as well, JJ, tell me a little bit about why did you show up here at this meeting today? What was the decision behind you clicking the link and logging on and taking this hour for yourself? Tell me.
Sure, putting myself on the spot so early in the morning, eh? It's really just I think all of us are living on the edge, and we're different to the rest. We don't follow, we want to lead, and we're always looking for opportunities, different ways, better ways. So for me, the interest is really to see what else can we do, what have I not thought of, and I like to be part of the bigger picture at the end of the day.
Excellent. I love that. I mean, as you say, this, and Paul alluded to it earlier, we some of us are type A personalities. We want to be at the forefront of things, and we don't want to be missing out on opportunities. And I think that's, if I can sum up what you said there, is absolutely right. It's why we want to do these things, to build our networks, to become better at what we do. Right. And hey, Rob, make a little bit more money. Isn't that why we're here?
Always make more money. That's the answer to almost everything. If in doubt, just make more money.
If in doubt, make more money. And but I mean, I think it's important to realize that we are all providing a service into the networks that we are, and if we can just focus on the value that we're doing and deliver as much value as possible, which I think Alex Hormozy says is just value, 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 the money is going to follow. So that's what we're about. Radio. The first part of our meeting, and this is one of the pillars of the Aviation Wealth Club, is your flight deck briefing with your co-pilot, because you guys are all the PIC of your operation, and Rob Yates and I are your co-pilots in this Aviation Wealth Club. And this is where we get an business acceleration bit of insight to helping you build your business. And today, Rob Yates, who is a powerful, elite professional coach, elite performance coach that will help you be able to scale your business, scale your leadership skills, and obviously all leading to revenue growth. Rob, I'm going to let you take it away.
Fantastic. Oh, you've got my slide deck. I was just about to ask, do you have that? So today I want to share with you a triangle, but in particular what I want to share with you is some questions for you to consider about where you're placing your time, effort, and energy to ensure that you're solving the right problem at the right time for yourself. In my experience, and I've been doing this for well over 2 decades now, is most of us get fascinated by stuff that's not necessarily that important now. Sometimes because that fascination is easier than solving the real problem that actually needs solving. And that can be around mastery of skills, knowledge, or all sorts of things. As I say, I'm going to share with you a very small piece of knowledge, but it's not the knowledge that's important, it's you coming up with your answers to the questions that I give and giving yourself the clarity about where for you now. And all of you will be at a slightly different place. Ultimately, when you master this triangle, it actually gives you the answers to everything else that you need in terms of where to spend your time, why to spend it there, how to spend it there, and what's the real problem that needs to be solved in order for you to achieve any wealth goal that you want to achieve. Today's triangle I've used with everywhere from a client of mine who's a billionaire all the way through to guys who are in startup mode. And it works regardless of where you are in the spectrum. And my client in Australia, who is a self-made billionaire, he still refers back to this as he calls it the recipe for his cake. The cake being the investments of the portfolio and the net worth he's built, but he refers to it as his recipe. And I keep thinking, he talks to me in coaching sessions about the recipe for his cake, and I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? And then actually what he's doing is referring back to this. So David, I'm going to wag my finger and we can wander on. The simple truth is that making money is really simple. It's just not easy, right? To make an abundant amount of money is ridiculously simple. But many of us have tried making an abundant amount of money where maybe you want to measure it in billions, not millions. And we know that it's not always as easy as it seems. Keeping money, however, and if any of you have made a large amount of money, keeping it is the hardest thing on planet Earth to achieve, yet also it's the easiest thing to structure. And I don't know how you've seen money in your world in the past, but or even in the present, but the moment somebody sniffs that you might have 500K or a few million that you might be interested in investing in something, suddenly everybody's got a great business idea and a great investment opportunity for you, and they just need 5 million to get their thing up and running, whatever it may well be. And you end up, and I end up here quite a lot of the time, in awkward conversations with people that I don't particularly want to have, right? Because they want an investment that they're probably not ready for. Or if they are ready for the investment, what they want to offer to me, the investor, or you, the investor, frankly, you don't want. My latest experience in this was somebody who wanted 4.2 million, and they wanted to give me a 38% return over 5 years. And I'm like, good job you, but I can give that money to Old Mutuals, and they will give it like something just bog standard average, and they will achieve more than 38% over 5 years, and there will be no risk in it. And so I end up in these conversations, and how we manage our world around keeping hold of our money is really important. And obviously, it's not just the friends, family, and nosy people who find out you might invest in their business. It's also SARS. It's also, so many other places where this money could just evaporate to. So this is the money triangle. It looks simple, doesn't it? Looks so simple. Effectively, there's 3 stages to becoming wealthy. One is to create money, the other one is to grow the money, and then it is to keep it. And we often get trapped in doing and thinking about some of the wrong actions at the wrong time. And so let me go and talk about some of the things and parameters that I work within in my brain. So the creation of wealth is adding value and solving problems for people, which could be a business, but for people for a profit. That's the process of creating wealth. And there's a line there between create and grow for a reason, because you've got a problem to solve for yourself for your first 10 million rand a year profit and your first $10 million a year profit. The first 10 million rand is very much, how do I acquire customers for myself consistently to get to that yearly profit margin, right? And it is yearly reoccurring. Why yearly reoccurring is because 10 million rand a year of reoccurring profit places you in the top 1% of planet Earth in terms of earnings, because it pops you over the $400,000 a year earning bracket. In that phase, what you've really got to master is customer acquisition. How do I get enough people paying me what I need to earn consistently enough to go and make that happen for myself? Some of you will already be there. And the answer for that first 10 million, by the way, rand, is very much around how do I do it based upon one channel? And so you may well say, well, Rob, what's a channel? We will unpack that in future weeks. But a customer acquisition channel, one channel could be networking, right? Another channel could be social media. Another channel could be partnerships. Another channel could be affiliate agreements. There's 1,000,001 channels, but doing it off one channel and mastering one channel. The path to $10 million a year net profit is usually linked to 2 to 3 channels being mastered, right? And we're all clever enough to do the maths. $10 million profit is 185 million rand a year profit. And that will put you in net worth in the top 1% of planet Earth as well. The best strategy on planet Earth, in honesty, in terms of wealth creation, is as you start to make money, is to grow your wealth by a big part of your growth strategy being stick it back into the create and make more with it. Right? Just plonk it back, drop it back down. And if you're getting good at this, I grow my money 8 times every year by taking cash and putting it back in my business. Right, because I've got really good channel mastery in terms of my customer acquisition channels. You do, however, and it is, however, wise to diversify. David will talk about that and what to do with that money that's outside of reinvesting back into your core business. And then there's the how to keep it. I want to fire a shot across the bows. I'm with a guy in a sales meeting about 6 or 8 weeks ago, and he's telling me about his wealth strategy. And he's got a trust, and he's got a holding company. He's got all of these companies, and they all link in like this, and nothing's really owned by anybody, and it's hyper tax efficient. And I'm like, that's nice. How much are you making? And he said, well, we turned over 15 million last year at 40% net. And I'm like, seriously? Like, the strategy you just described to me is a 200 million a year at 50% net strategy. We really don't need it. And he sunk 6 months into learning how to do all of this learn how to do all of this as like a DIY effort, where really we could just go to a David and a good accountant and a good lawyer and make 200 million a year and pay them to do it for us, and they'll do it in 6 minutes. We don't have to know how to do it. We actually have to know who to employ to do the keep strategy for us. And often, and what this is such a great example of, is a fascination on something that's not important now, that other people have the expertise to do for us, and we just need to go and create the problem for them to solve. There is some caveats around that. My accountant last February or March, Kenneth, I said, what do I need to do with my money this year? And he said, well, in the next 12 months, create a mess and let me sort it out. And in February, he came to visit me, and we spent an evening, and it cost me quite a lot of single malt whiskey because he told me off for creating too big a problem for him to sort out. So there is about going to the right expert at the right time. But I'd encourage all of us to not need to fascinate about the keep strategy, and fascinate more about generating the wealth to pay somebody else to do it for you. Right? How to become tax efficient is very easily solved, and it's not a problem we should think about solving ourselves. Right? The actual strategy is pay somebody to do it for you, because there's experts out there who do that day in and day out. And really, we should really be an expert, in my opinion, of how to go and create money through our business, have more acquisition channels for our clients, and then obviously be a master of that and a master of the product or service delivery itself. Right? If that's the only thing that you master, there's experts out there who'll do the rest for you. And that's true across all of your wealthiest people on planet Earth. Right? So there's some things. So my questions for you this week is, David, you can just click onto the next one, is which layer do you need to focus on right now? There's a question for you. Right? What's that layer in here? Where are you currently? The old adage that turnover is vanity and profit is sanity. You'll notice that I specifically spoke about profit-based figures, because we all end up losing ourselves in a vanity of how big your business is. But 100 million a year turnover at 1% net is still only £1 million. And we often end up confusing our worlds between motion and progress. So which layer on profit terms do you actually need to focus on at this point in time? Like, are you doing 10 million through one customer acquisition channel? Right? If not, you probably need to revisit, create, and become a master of one up to that 10 million, and then another up to that 10 million rand, and then multiples of those until you hit $10 million or more net. And then if you go and think about where you are, what's the problem that you need to solve in this layer for yourself? Right? What's the problem? And I'm going to guess that it's going to be a people problem that you need to solve. I'm going to guess that's the problem you need to solve, because money is simply a matter of solving a problem for people. So who is it that we need to solve the problem for? Or who can solve the problem for us is often a thought process we should have. I don't want to waffle anymore. I'm not going to ask you to lift your skirt up and do a full-blown confession in front of 5 million people about where you believe you are now and what your financial status is right now, so on and so forth. But I do just want to buy a bit of time and go, based upon what I've shared, what's the question that you need answering from me in order to get yourself the clarity to move forward? So I just want to, David, it's all right, open up the floor for a few minutes and find out, based upon this, what do you need to know from me? Oh, and by the way, I really like these little Honda jets. I think they're really cool. I don't know why. I just think they're cool, so I popped one up. But what question would you have for me? We are going to step into the weeds, just so you know, in terms of the more specific of like acquisition, client acquisition channels, B2B, B2C, so on and so forth in the future. But JJ, I'm just going to go and find the comments. Oh, JJ, right, okay, that's a wonderful question. So JJ says, how to get the right people involved, those who will work as hard as I do towards your goal. JJ, you're going to hate me for the answer to this question, is you are highly unlikely to find somebody who will work as hard towards your goal as you work towards your goal. Highly unlikely. In fact, it's close to impossible. You can, however, find people who will work as hard towards their goal as you do towards yours, and them achieving their goal will be a complementary factor to you achieving yours. And one of the biggest things that we have, problems we have as employers, is we expect people to take our business as seriously as we take it, and yet it's not theirs. And there is no logic on planet Earth that would suggest they would ever or should ever do that. So the real question we have to ask is, how do we help them achieve their goals as a part of being with us, working for us? Or being a consultant or a freelancer or an employee or whatever else. How do we help them do that? So in my business, I've got a series of employees. They've all got goals. And I know that my only focus is to help them achieve their goals. And by default, if I get 8 of them achieving their goals, my goal happens by default, out of the back of it.
I suppose it means that people do things for their own reasons, Rob.
100%.
Their reasons only.
Yeah, 100%. You know, people are inherently selfish, and they're probably right to be. The human brain is programmed to be inherently egotistical and survival orientated. And so I think we need to change our framework about bringing people into businesses. And actually think that our business needs to be a goal facilitator for other people. And it's actually about employing people who've got the right goals. Probably the biggest secret. So JJ, does that fully or partly answer your question, or what's left to be answered?
Yeah, so basically it's just what I've experienced is that you'll employ someone and, you know, during the interview process, I'm always available. I'll work towards what I need to. I'll go for the training. I'll do this and that in my spare time, you know, personal time. And it's just rah company. I'll be early at work. And then after 3 months, you realize, but yes, like, you know, where's all those promises gone? I'm being paid the salary, but I'm not actually putting the time in. I'm on my personal phone most of the time. You know, what you're saying towards those personal goals. And one of their personal goals is normally do as little as possible, do my personal work in my office time, which I'm being paid for, so that I've got more free time for myself. So, you know, do we employ people, argument's sake, at 20,000 Rand a month? Because that's the right type of person in that bracket. Do we employ someone for 40,000 Rand a month? At which point is there such a point that we would be able to get the right suited person for our business?
So I don't think there's a rand value that answers that question. I think that's that's an avenue to be ignored. One of my best performing employees at this moment only earns 15 grand a month, and she is phenomenal. Absolutely mine. In fact, she outstrips pretty much everybody else and has done for at least 8 months since she's been working with me. And I think that what you're describing, JJ, is that the employees' goals that you've experienced, their goal is to earn their salary for as little work as possible. That's their goal. And everything else is they're telling you what you want to hear in order for them to achieve their goal. And so it sounds to me like you haven't found the employees who are telling you, I want to master this, and I want to leave you in 3 years, and I want to be here and doing that. You're not actually finding the employees with the right goals that will benefit you.
I think so.
Yeah, so I don't think it's around Valley. I also think at interview, I just take this. I've got some golden rules at interview. One is I just assume everybody's answer to every question is a lie, right? That's the first thing that I assume, right? Number one, that's the first thing. The second thing is I assume everybody, when they get home at 7 o'clock every day of the afternoon, that their twin children will break both legs at about 1 minute past 7, and they'll have to take them to the hospital and deal with the twin children, and that's their evenings and weekends gone, right? Children with broken legs. Therefore, they're going to be distracted because of their broken legs in the daytime, and they've got bigger priorities than me outside of work. And I assume that as well as I employ people. The third part is where I make my decision is I usually give people problems that they can't solve during the interview, and I just let them get on with it for a time period. And I want to see what it is they do to solve the problem and how close they can do to solving the problem, because I actually want to see what their attitude is as opposed to what their words are and what their CV is. You know, I've just employed a guy to do some coding with me, and he's 19 years old and lives in Bangalore. No qualifications. The guy speaks HTML as a second language, probably even a first language, right? But the problem I gave him, I thought I'd set a nuts problem, and he solved it in 8 minutes. I'm like, wow. Right? His goal is to earn $1 million a year. And now it's my business problem on how can I facilitate that for him? How can I grow the business big enough, which I don't think is possible in honesty, to get him there? And so I think we've got to view this employing thing differently, especially if we want A players. Your A player employee should be on a great package with a great employer, and they shouldn't want to leave that job at this point in time. Because people who are looking to leave or are currently unemployed, they're in that bracket for a reason, right? And we probably don't want them in our business because of that reason. We actually want to go and poach people and charm people to work for us who are doing a great job for somebody else, already happy, don't particularly want to leave, or on a great package. Those are probably the people we want to go and poach. I appointed a sales director for one of my businesses on Saturday morning, and it wasn't an interview. It was a charming conversation of me persuading him why me, not them. Right? And interestingly, the money wasn't the bit that he was really interested in. He's been doing his current role for 5 years, and the only reason he's doing it is because of the bonus check that he gets every year. That is only a cash purpose. And I quickly worked out that what I actually had to do was give him a reason to jump out of bed with a spring in his step in the morning. And so I think if we want A players with A player expectations, we have to change the paradigm of how we currently employ. So JJ, I hope that helps.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we will do a session on employing A players in the future, where to find them and how to solve that problem for ourselves. That's a big problem, maybe even more than one. Anybody else got a question? Thank you, JJ.
Henry's got a question that he's put in the chat. Henry has said, my business has been largely word of mouth, and I've never actually done marketing as such. But now I'm aligning myself with bigger people and business. That's why you're here. But how do I leverage those events, such as the West Coast Air Show that I'm a part of? So you're asking, like, how do you're taking that sponsorship and being involved with that event, and then leveraging that into more customers and business growth? Is that right, Henry? Is that the question? Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, having done quite a few events myself, and France and I have been doing, sponsorship of events and turning up and showing, so much so that we've actually just become organizers of all these events, just because we've become part of the furniture. And I think the answer kind of lies in that, is that, becoming a sponsor is one thing, and showing your brand off is basically just advertising. And I think we all know that advertising's return is very low. You need to be advertising to 1 billion people to sell 1,000 people, or whatever that number is. But it's a tiny percentage. And taking it to events is obviously going to improve that percentage for you. But then becoming part of the furniture, which I mean, what I mean by that is really two things. One is that you really get to know and to work closely with the people that are in the right places. So the organizers, the other sponsors, the people that are making decisions on the ground at these events, because those are your centers of influence that are able to then speak to your brand and communicate it out to the rest of the people that are there. And the second thing is that, yes, you need to become part of the furniture. And one of those things, and how that happens, is time. And unfortunately, I'd love to fast track everything and make everybody rich tomorrow, but these things do take time. France will attest to this. And I think the first time I saw him at an event where we had some branding, where he had some branding up, and I was at a different company, and my nose was very swiftly put out of joint by the fact that there was another insurance broker on the scene. And I think France will remember that story, but that was in 2009 or 2011 or whatever it was. It was freaking long ago. And it's taken us, obviously we've leveraged each event and made sure that we've got ROI on each one of those. But over the years, my ROI now is far greater out of each event, because I've spent the time and put my feet on the ground, flipping, put the sweat and the hard yards in, with being really a part of those events. So that's my advice there, Henry, is not just to sit on the sidelines and hope that, because you've provided a service and taken money out of your back pocket, that everyone's just going to love you. The fact is, you still need to build those relationships and really get in touch and get together with those people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%, Dave, 100%. And that's what so my question is right about, because that's what I'm just trying to do now, is just create that brand awareness that everybody, the guys in the West Coast are, when they think computers, they think, I need something, I must be like, Creighton's got a shop here, Creighton IT does that. Just that keeping in the mindset the whole time. And so, just like you say, just being involved with the people. And the type of person I am as well. I'm always there helping out, and I'm always doing my branding. I'm always out there, like whatever, whether it's helping with the generator or helping sell food or helping at the gate sell tickets or whatever. People see me and people see what I do and what I bring to them. And I'm just I've realized that business is building relationships. So I just that's kind of where I was going with what I'm doing. So just more, it's a bit of just a bit of confirmation for that. I think I'm on the right track here, and I know that this is going to take time to start leveraging all of those connections. So I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Nice. France, you've got sorry, Rob.
I'm just going to add something. Off the back of doing this stuff, right? There's only going to be a small percentage of people that off advertising are going to be, we come to you as, can you help me solve this problem? There's a very, very small percentage of people. There's a much, much larger percentage of people that, after we've increased awareness of who we are and what we do, us go directly to them and make an invitation to them for a cup of coffee, for a chat, for a meeting, for a whatever else. And I often think, off the back of these events, we don't fully get what we want back because so few people come to us. And so it's working out in your head, what's my me to them strategy after it once I've popped the awareness level up higher. We've got to create an opportunity to buy that we take to the customer. And I think that's where most marketing and advertising falls flat, is we put something out there and we sit back waiting for the phone to ring, and then it kind of doesn't. And so we've got to understand that the only purpose of this is just awareness raising. And that we still need another step in the cycle. So but that's just my perspective. Sorry, David, I jumped in.
No worries, France. You've got your hand up. Tell us. Unmute yourself, please.
Hey, how's it, guys? So the events thing, it's what do you do exactly?
So France, I'm an IT specialist. So we do everything IT, infrastructure, networking, cloud solutions, emails, websites, the whole, like anything IT related. In a nutshell, is what we do.
And is your shop close to the event, or?
Yeah, my shop. It's the only proper decent IT shop in the whole of the West Coast. There's a bunch of guys who like one-man bands that work from home.
Okay.
But I've taken the market by storm. The shop's doing really, really well.
Okay, cool.
In the past, it was just, yeah. Anyways.
Okay, I get it. So the first thing you want to be doing with these events, right? You want to be creating some sort of urgency, and you want to be offering like big value for someone at that event. So think of it almost like, sure, you put some money and effort into the event, but I think if you want to get some traction on the day, you're almost going to need a little bit of a loss leader that you can offer, you know, over that, how long is the event? A day or two, probably one day. That just entices someone to give you their details, right? That's actually all you want to do. You just want to get someone, because if you in that area and you like legit and you're the biggest and the best and whatever, it's easy to lead with that afterwards. So that helps you close that cold lead into something really hot on that initial contact after the event, right? Like that makes it really easy for you or a sales guy or someone to reach out to them. So I think for you, the only thing you need to be focusing on is what kind of what can you offer them really special on the day that they, and I mean, because I'm also going to guess like small businesses, that's really your target market, right?
Yeah. So what I was just part of the West Coast KM concert, which was now last weekend, and I actually gave away some prizes and stuff. We did a bit of a raffle, and we got 730 contacts scanning our QR code, submitting their details, name, surname, email address, etc., like that. So building up that database to start leveraging. That's a lot of local people here. They'll definitely then that will definitely fit in with what you've said in terms of getting their details. And what Rob also reiterated is now, how do I go back to them? What's for me to them? So creating a product or creating that feedback from me to them. And then that's the same thing I want to do with the air show. Is like all my branding is there, but getting the guys to actually get onto my website, get onto my Facebook page, give me their details, and then being able to go back to them and leverage off of that. That's so I kind of think I'm kind of getting in the right space. It's just now taking the next step as to connecting to them. From my side, like Rob says, very few people are going to just call me out of the blue. But if I'm going,
no one's going to.
Yeah,
everyone forgets about you.
No one's going to get back
half an hour later. Yeah, everyone forgets about it. So I feel like you've got that part. If you just did one and you got 700 people, like that means you're doing something right. So I mean, maybe that's not where you need the attention. I think it sounds like, because it sounds like it's new as well, that the attention needs to be on what does that follow-up and sales process look like then afterwards.
Okay, perfect, 100%. Thanks, appreciate it.
Okay, but good luck.
Yeah. Are you going to the West Coast Air Show, France?
If I'm in the country, sure.
Yeah. Nice. All right, excellent. Henry, does that answer your question? Does anyone else have a further question? I know I'm just conscious of time and would like to see if we can move on. But if you do have more questions, please put them in the chat, and we'll address them as we get towards the other Q&A session, if that's all right. All right. Thanks, Rob. That's the end of your presentation, correct? Tell us what can we expect from you in the next 3 weeks?
Oh, yes. Yes, we're going to look at the future of money. We're going to play with retirement planning, but from a business perspective. And then we're going to lead on with that from the business perspective of actually creating a business you can sell. Because there's a world of difference between a business and a business you can sell. And we're going to play with that in 3 weeks' time. And then I've actually made some notes this morning for some more sessions around solving some people problems for ourselves, customer acquisition. Actually, Henry's question is really good about that sort of marketing to advertising, the sales follow-up structures. We're going to play with that as well. And then JJ's thing about getting the employees. If we want to create sellable businesses, we have to change the way we employ people, because the A-player employees that you most need aren't sat at the other side of a recruitment agency and a CV and an advert on Indeed or something like that. And I want to go and show some innovative ways of how to get world-class employees to say, yes, me, even if you can't afford to pay them what they're currently earning. So I've got a list. So there's a bit of an insight about where we're going to head into the future.
Love it, Rob. Thank you. And I'm excited to see what's next. All right, just a little bit of information about the membership tiers and benefits that we do have. So we've got 3 levels of membership currently, and the top level is a VIP membership. And with the value that you get from a VIP membership out of the Aviation Wealth Club, I've calculated as at least 637,000 throughout the year, and that's made up of the sort of time and effort that we're putting into to create the events and to organize them and to put everything together, as well as the coaching time that you'll get from like this type of thing from Rob, and then obviously the investment advice from myself, plus all of the value adds that we have. So I mean, the value of a VIP membership is 637,000 Rand just in what I can calculate, never mind what networking opportunities and other business deals are going to be done. Excuse the office dog. What other business deals are going to be done by the other members with you in this group? So the value can be it's obviously infinite, but at least 600,000 Rand. And obviously the VIP member gets a priority invite to certain flyaways, and obviously events exclusive to VIP members only. Obviously investment deals that we're looking at, individual coaching with Rob Yates, which we've equated to which is 12 sessions in the year that you'll get with Rob. Okay, so it's really, really amazing. And then obviously plus more as we go through this thing, it keeps evolving and keeps growing. The standard member, we've calculated the value of that as also a minimum of 335,000 Rand. And what that gets you is weekly access to this weekly mastermind. It's investment insights, obviously the aviation online community and other exclusive events. But we are still in the founder member stage, which are members that are signing up between now and the 30th of June. You also get the full value of 335,000 Rand. I forgot to put a little plus sign there because we know that that's the minimum calculatable value that this is. And what you get as a founding member is a personalized wealth building strategy from myself. You get private investor syndicates that we're putting together. We've got luxury network retreats and ongoing early access to benefits throughout the year. So these are the value and what you will be getting out of these different membership tiers and benefits. Right. I'm up next.
You
Rob,
are.
you want to tell them about me?
I can tell you all about you. So many wonderful things. I think the most important thing is that if you're going to go and do something about keeping your money and growing your money and using 15% of your cash to get the 100 times rewards that you can gain, as well as not paying too much tax and all those sorts of things, really you want somebody who is not only an expert at that, but understands the context of the aviation world. Because there is so many unique differences for people who fly versus people who don't. David is the dude to do that, and the guy that I back 5 million%. So David, you're going to talk us today like an extension of what I've been sharing, but from a how to grow this money and keep hold of it, right?
Absolutely, Rob. So echoing Rob's create, grow, keep triangle. Thank you very much for that awesome introduction, by the way. We're going to be talking about our flight plan today and how that revolves around this triangle of create, grow, and keep within the wealth creation, within the wealth creation sphere. And we're going to embark on a journey, and not a journey through the skies, but rather the realms of financial empowerment. And as pilots and aviators, we master the art of navigation, precision, and control. And these very skills can be harnessed to navigate the complex airspace of wealth creation. And our flight plan today revolves around this triangle. We want to create wealth. All right. So the first part about creating wealth is, creating or what it requires is a strategic and mindset and a little bit of courage. All right. It's about making deliberate choices to invest resources wisely and deferring immediate gratification for greater future gains. And I think if we all remember, I don't know if anyone, I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but if we consider that classic marshmallow test where the child is put into an observation room and there's a marshmallow put in front of the child, and they say to him, if you eat the marshmallow, you can have it, no problem. But if you wait till I come back, I'm going to give you 2 marshmallows. And I don't know if you've seen how painstaking and how funny it is to watch those kids and how they make decisions and what goes through their mind in all of that time. But I want to, who's actually seen it? Put your hand up if you've seen it. But so really, it's obviously a social experiment about how that works. And so the experiment underscores the power of delayed gratification. And all financial advisors are going to tell you, just wait, just hold back, just invest a little bit, start off small, and it's going to grow big over time. And yes, we know this. We know that the compounding returns over time are vitally important. And yes, we need to wait for that second marshmallow because it's coming. Okay. So, but I want to say to the people in the room today that waiting passively isn't always our best strategy. Sometimes we need to eat that marshmallow now, and we need to use the calories and the energy that we get from that marshmallow to fuel further opportunities and that can actually lead to greater rewards. I'm saying take a plunge and just a bit of risk, not with your entire portfolio. And what I'm saying is don't eat the whole marshmallow, but there is a strategy that involves being proactive and leveraging your current assets to create more value. And so wealth building, I've found, is more like building a fire. It's akin to kindling a fire. And initially, you start with, and when I say building wealth, I mean create. In this create phase, it's more like kindling a fire. It's initially you start with a few embers and some kindling, and you're shielding this little starter fire from the wind and the weather and all the things that are hoping to squash this thing. And and that's what Rob's talking about is, people are building tax structures and trusts and companies and all that kind of stuff when all they've got is this little bit of a fire that needs to still take flame and really start to grow. What we need to be focusing on is being fragile and the little flame can be fragile, and we need to focus on challenging it to sustain. And how do we do that? We introduce the right type of kindling and accelerants at appropriate times, such as for this little fire, a little ball of cotton, and adding the oxygen by blowing on it, you can rapidly transform it into a roaring blaze. And I want to very quickly stop and ask, for those of you currently in the create phase of your wealth, I mean, I know a couple of you have decided where you guys are in that triangle. Or maybe you're past the create phase and into the growth. I want to ask one question, and you guys can just type it into the chat if you'd like. How are or were you nurturing your initial financial sparks while simultaneously introducing the right accelerants to fuel your wealth building fire? If you can put that answer to that question in the chat, that would be great. And if you've got a burning answer to that question, pardon the pun, put your hand up and we can discuss it.
Can you ask the question again?
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's just my brain's not very good.
No. I was saying a lot of words. While you were nurturing or are nurturing that initial financial spark, how are you nurturing that initial financial spark while simultaneously introducing the right accelerants to fuel your wealth building fire? What are you doing to protect and grow your creation phase of your wealth? So we want to bring, after establishing a solid financial foundation, the next step is obviously to expand your wealth through strategic investments. And this is the growth phase. And as Rob said, in the growth phase of your business, you're going to be reinvesting your profits and putting that into your business. And the same thing must be done on the investment side. And I think if we remember the message from last week, being that your investment portfolio needs to be treated in very much the same way as your business is. And this phase emphasizes the importance of leveraging existing assets to generate additional income and a capital appreciation. And that's where we look at alternative investments. We look at things that are not just going to grow with compound interest, which is super powerful, but there's things like financing properties and different types of leverage that you can. I see France obviously had another meeting, no worries. Different types of things that you can leverage the bit that you have into 10x, 15x, different types of scale to get those returns. And obviously, we all need to be very aware of leverage and that it can definitely backfire. But so why it's vitally important to be able to do this with the right guidance and the right mitigation and knowledge of all the risks involved. So reinvestment of earnings is the one thing. Exploring new adventures and ventures is the next one. We need to be diversifying into new investment opportunities, such as real estate, equity markets. Crypto is another one. Can provide additional avenues for wealth accumulation, and rental properties as well. Also, all of these types of things are very important to be looking at in terms of diversification. All right. And then my question to you guys, and again, just pop it into the chat. I know we're running out of time fast here, but what criteria do you consider when exploring a new investment venture to diversify your portfolio? What are some of the criteria that you explore? Tell me a little bit about that. Okay. The next phase is keeping wealth, and this is a phase of preservation. And so you've accumulated it as it's as crucial as keeping and growing it. This phase focuses on safeguarding assets against the potential risks. And Rob named one of those risks as family and friends that have got excellent business ideas and 38% return over 5 years, as well as taxes, as well as swindlers, as well as all sorts of other stuff that there are potential risks. And you need to ensure long-term financial stability. And key strategies around keep is, again, diversification. We want to spread investments across various asset classes, such as the stocks, the bonds, the real estate, and alternative assets, like I've been saying. And can we mitigate the impact of, well, this can all impact the risk of, number one, market volatility. And then I think the only way you can mitigate the risk of having people come to you and ask you for business ideas, you need to have a strong barrier up to not just giving into whatever business ideas seem like a good idea and come along your way. So diversification, risk management, all of those things, asset protection. And I think this is important to know. Once you've created and grown your wealth, yeah, I hear that, France. Once you've created and grown your wealth, asset protection is now a good idea. Like, now start thinking about the right types of structures that can protect your wealth. You need to be thinking about it beforehand, but obviously put it in place at the right phase, which is this keep phase. And this is where you can use legal structures such as trusts or limited liability companies, or PTY limiteds, or whatever it is, whatever applies to you in the region of the world that you're in. And additionally, insurance policies, these can also help preserve wealth. One such insurance policy is a buy and sell agreement backed by a policy that, and I think you guys, most of you know exactly what that is, but protecting your wealth, that if one of the partners in the business passes away, that we don't have the uninterested daughter or son come into the business not knowing how to do it, but still calling the shots. Rather, you want to be able to buy that deceased member's shares out of their estate and transfer the value of that business to the beneficiaries. So, I mean, those are all types of conversations that you need to be having in the keep phase. So insurance and structures and risk management is all good strategies of being able to keep your wealth. And so once we've kept it and we've done all the right stuff, I want to just say, well, the one question I have for you guys is, what asset protection measures have you put in place? So those of you in the keep phase of your wealth creation, what asset protection measures have you put in place to safeguard your wealth against potential legal or financial challenges? I'd like you to think about that. And while it's important to focus on it at the right time, there are little bits that you can still do leading up to this time. Okay. So think about what protection measures you've done and put that into the chat if you can, please. In conclusion, we basically saying that, in aviation, we trust our instruments, we trust our training and our instincts to navigate challenges with flying, landing, taking off, all those types of things. Similarly, in wealth creation, we must trust our knowledge, strategies, and discipline. And we need to embrace the wealth triangle, create, grow, keep, and chart a course forward to financial freedom. And remember, the sky isn't the limit. It's merely the beginning. Okay. Thank you. And may your financial journey be as rewarding as your flights. Very nice. Okay, so I would like to, very quickly, our crypto corner. This is just something new that I'm putting in here, and all this is information that I've gleaned from the internet. This is not advice about buying crypto, and any decision to buy crypto is very much backed by, has to be done by proper guidance and knowledge, and know that the risk of crypto is probably one of the highest risks at this time, just in terms of volatility. But here's just some facts. These are the top 10 coins by market capitalization in the market currently. And these prices are as of last night. So Bitcoin currently trading at $79,000, and the market capitalization is $1.56 trillion currently. And if we go down this list, you'll see that Ethereum, Tether, XRP, Binance Coin, Solana, the USD stable coin. So you'll see that USD stable coin is trading at $1. That's basically just a coin that mimics the US dollar. There's $57 billion in crypto dollars currently. That's the one stable coin. There's another stable coin here, also called Tether. So there's $142 billion just in Tether currently. So, and then we move down and we actually start to see that the meme type coins, Dogecoin is Elon's coin, trading at 15 US cents as of last night, worth $23 billion. And I know that people, and it's just something I'd like to address, is that people think that this is fake money, that there's no substance behind it, and there's no, this is only sentiment that guides these values. I just want to say that a lot of these coins are have real life application, and that you're actually using some of the Ethereum blockchain as you do an e-signature on any Adobe product currently. That is being done. That is being done on an Ethereum blockchain currently. So it's really amazing. So just to give you an idea, the top 10 crypto coins, and there are there's thousands more, but the top 10 are holding currently $2.3 trillion worth of value at the moment. That's the top 10. So I want us, if you're a crypto naysayer, 100%, you're entitled to be that person. But I'd like to just open your eyes to the fact that this isn't going anywhere, and it's going to be very difficult to destroy $2 trillion worth of market capitalization on a whim. So this stuff's here to stay, I'm afraid. All right, that's me. Is anyone? I'm not gonna go for questions now, just because of time. I do want to just tell everybody, thank you very much for listening to me. But I do want to tell everybody, the VIP membership that I was talking about that offers 637,000 rands worth of value calculatable is only 97,000 rand per annum. And again, this gives you priority invites to flyaways, exclusive investment deals, in individual business coaching, plus more. Our standard member value is 335,000 rand plus worth of value, because it is what you make of it as well. And that's only 50,000 rand per annum. And this gives you the access to webinars like today, investment insights, and the aviation online community. And our founder member is running at a ridiculously 14-to-1 value offering of only 24,000 rand per annum. And this is only available before the 30th of June. And it obviously gives you access to all of the personalized wealth building, the strategy, private investor syndicates that we've been talking about, luxury networking retreats, the awesome track day, the international stuff we've been doing, well, we're busy planning, all of that, as well as ongoing early access to benefits throughout the year. So those are our membership tiers. And what I'd like to say, do we have any questions at this time? Who's liked what they've seen so far? And one question from about what I presented. Does anyone have any questions about that? How about you, Khoitse? Have you managed to gauge any value from today?
No, 100%. I think the most interesting part is leveraging networks. And I've got if I can put it, a big phone book. So the most important part is, how do I leverage networks and also create wealth through those networks, whether it's exchange of services, the integration of those services. So yeah, that was the big learning curve, and obviously being a part of this club will also further enhance that network and building together going forward.
Love it, Khoitse. Thank you very much. Dear Walter, I met you on the weekend. I was introduced to you by JJ, and you've shown up here today. Maybe you can just tell us in 2 minutes or 1 minute or less, what made you turn up here today?
Hi guys. Yes, David. No, thank you once again for inviting me. It was very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm still in the creating phase, so still learning a lot. It's always good to network and to see and meet new people. And yeah, I think that's the biggest part in a company, that also if you're still creating wealth and establishing new businesses and all that, to network and meet new people. And yeah, it's not always what you do, it's who you know. That's what I've seen in my experience over the years. So no, it's really been great, very, very very interesting, and yeah, definitely something to look into, to become part of this Aviation Wealth Club. So yeah, no, thanks a lot once again, David. Appreciate it, man.
Excellent, Deervold. Thank you very much. Yeah, Deervold's got a very interesting business, guys. He puts pipes all the way, or cameras all the way down pipelines, and if you excuse my language, just sorts out a lot of turd. Anyway, and yeah, so thanks very much, guys, for joining us today. There are corporate sponsorship opportunities as well for the Aviation Wealth Club. If you'd like to have a discussion about that and see how your company can get involved with sponsoring these opportunities, they'll obviously have premium brand placing at the events. They'll have, obviously, if you're a corporate sponsor, your membership comes with that. Your platinum sponsorship there in the middle gets you 2 standard or founder memberships before 30th of June. And if you become a title sponsor, a partner with us, where we actually rename the whole Aviation Wealth Club with your company as the sponsor, you get 2 standard memberships, which are now still via founder memberships, and 1 VIP membership, which is, you've seen the value there. It's massive. So yeah, chat to me about possibly becoming a sponsorship partner and or a member. And if you'd like to register yourself or register your interest in becoming a member, you can scan that QR code with your phone right now, if you'd like. Oh, in closing, I'm going to ask anyone that if they've got any comments or questions that they would like to add to the end of this meeting.
I'd just like anybody here, if there's stuff that you would like us to cover, please go pop it into the WhatsApp group. It stops us pretending to be mind readers and actually, like, what are the problems you need solving in your business or with your wealth or growing your wealth? Let's go into the WhatsApp group so that we can go and build content and sessions around it.
Yeah. Yeah, as Rob says, we know quite a lot, but we need to make it relevant to you. And as was the answer to JJ's question, people do things for their own reasons. So we need to know what your reasons are so that we can address the problem directly. All right. I'm going to wrap up then, Rob. What do you say?
Let's do it. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody being here. And David, thank you for being our host this morning.
Thank you very much, everybody. Let's all go and make some money, and there will be more.